I'm a little bit scattered today, so I'm going to try to get through this. I had it ready to go this morning, but today, if it's August 14th, if you're a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, it was the day that we could register to go to On Stage, which is our convention, and it's our 30th, so it's in Orlando. Part of it's going to be at Disney World, at Epcot. So it was a super exciting morning, a little stressful sometimes, because when thousands of us get on the same website at the same time to register for something, of course websites can have issues. So there were a little bit of issues. So I've been talking to girlfriends here, one of my friends in North Carolina. I've been on with the wonderful Shannon West. If you're a demonstrator, you know her. She was helping me. She's wonderful, and I can't wait to see her when we get to Orlando. So I had this card ready to go, and I thought maybe I could squeeze it in before I registered first, and then, but I didn't get it done before I registered, and then I thought maybe I could get it on before my girl started to register. That didn't happen either, and then that all took a little bit longer than I anticipated. But we're all registered, and there's a bunch of us going, so now it's time to start counting the sleeves. Although my family's going to Orlando for about 9 days maybe, and then we come home for just a few days, and then I go back with my girlfriend. So it'll be a Mickey Mouse kind of time. But I do want to tell you, those of you that follow me on Facebook, next week our goal is, if you are a demonstrator, especially if you're a new demonstrator and you hear words like shoebox swap or even just the general swapping at events like On Stage, or like, what do you do with all those cards? How do you make all those cards? If you're feeling a little bit overwhelmed, me and my girlfriends, you know, we've been doing this a long time. We are on Facebook Live. We are going to give you some hints and some tips on what do you do with the cards, what do you do with them afterwards, how do you participate, just what some of the words are. So if you want to tune in live next Monday, I think we're doing Monday, you can check my Facebook. We're going to kind of help you take some of the scary out of it, make it fun, because it should be fun, and give you some ideas of what to do afterwards with all of that stuff. And then we also will have some other fun announcements for you if you're going or not going, some stuff that we're going to do. And then also personally, almost every time I post a video now, I get like, where do you get some of the stuff I use in my staging of my pictures, and I do collect some of it. It's my other thing, you know, all of my little the things I put in my pictures, the stuff on my tables, and I collect it. I'm gonna have a pop-up shop on my Facebook, probably not this week because I have camp, but maybe next week. I don't have a lot of it, so I'll post it, and when it's gone, it's gone. So it's kind of like I go out shopping and I find some of the cute stuff, and then I get way too much because my office isn't very big. So some of the extras that I've got, I know everybody wants my little washi thing that says stay. I have one, and I've only ever found two. So I have one, and my girlfriend has one, and I have two girlfriends. So if I ever find another one, my other girlfriend gets it. So nobody's gonna get a washi. But I have, I think, one more of the little stamp one. I have some of the other cute things, and so I will be posting those. So stay tuned for that. But for today's card, it's cute. I'm going back to the blended seasons because it's only good for August, and then once it's gone, it's gone. So I'm going to do that. I didn't copy it exactly, but the colors my girlfriend used, the technique she kind of used, and the embossing folder she used. So I'm going to change it up a little bit. So this is a copy of my friend Susan's. So I'm going to copy her card a little bit and switch it up a little bit to be a little bit mine, a little bit hers, but the inspiration totally came from her. It was a Facebook Live that we did, and I'm going to call it the blob card because somebody commented on the card and it was kind of far away, and they said it looked like a blob. It's a beautiful blob. So here we go. Here's the blob card. I'm going to use blended seasons. I am going to use the dies, and I had a weekend special this past weekend. So if you check my website or my Facebook, I'm going to run the same special again this coming weekend. So if you are interested in getting the stamp set or the dies, this one doesn't use the watercolor pencil, so it'll be a twist on the special because I'm going to use the Aquapainter. So if the watercolor pencils aren't your thing, but the stamp pads are your thing, and the Aquapainter, it's going to be a twist on the special. So get ready. I'm going to demo the card for you. So let me get this down. This is a real fun card. It's really pretty colors. I guess I don't have anything. Because I was busy on the computer, I guess I didn't line this up all very well. So hang on. I should have looked at it and known that wasn't great. Some pretty summer colors. Got a couple of weeks left. You know, here in the Midwest, when September hits, it's like all we can do not to whip out all of our orange and pumpkin and fall leaves, even though it's still warm. And the leaves don't really turn until towards the end of September, really October. But we kind of like, it's September and, you know, it's pumpkin time. But for camp, this is going to be a camp card. I have camp on Friday and Saturday of this week. So this is a camp card. Susan's doing it at her camp. So I loved the colors. And this month we're still on bright and cheery camp. So this is Granny Apple Green of the ink. And this is Lemon Lime Twist because it's a little bit brighter. But I wanted to use a couple of different greens. So got 2 different greens. And then I'm going to use shimmer cardstock. Here's a big one. And then I've got the 2 stamp pads. To do this technique, you're going to take your stamp pad. And you know I don't get inky fingers. So I'm going to smush it like this, but I'm still going to open it the way I open it. So it's going to require a little bit different, because you know I don't slide my pads back. So open them like a compact. And then normally I would have the ink pad down, but for this we're going to start this direction. I'm still in there. I might have to slide those up a little bit. And then I'm going to use the Aquapainter. This is water just in the little barrel. And this is my shimmer cardstock. So you just squeeze a little bit of water to get it going. I'm going to start with the pink actually. I just want some water. Squeeze that out. I probably should have put a little bit more in there after I made my first card. Squeeze it a little better. Oh, come on. There is water in it. I can see it. It's not coming out. There's not as much water as it appears to be. It's like it's blocked or something. I just used it. There's blockage in my pen. This doesn't happen often. Well, let me grab another one. I don't know what's wrong with that one. Luckily I'm sitting right where I can reach them all. Let me see if this one has water in it. There we go. That one's got water in it. Okay, there you go. That's better. That's what happened before when I used my other one. I literally just made this card right before I registered. So I just want to get a bunch of water and kind of let it bleed all over the card. Pink. I'm going to do the same thing with the green. I don't really want them to mix together because they'll turn a nice shade of brown. Like they can touch, but I don't want to like mix them with my pen. And you can see it's just going to bleed a little bit. And instead of doing it with my pen, I'm just going to let the water do it. And then I'm just going to move this to the side to dry. Can you still see that? Yeah. Didn't check my camera angle very well before I sat down. And you can see where it's bleeding. See what I mean about the brown? If I did that with my pen, the whole middle would be. And I'm going to run this through with the Big Shot so that some of that outside is going to disappear. So I'm not really concerned about what that's doing over there. I'll tilt that up a second. Okay. And then I have my chamois here. my mister. My chamois nice and hard. Squirt that there. And then if you don't know, you can take your Aquapainter and you can clean it on here. So another wonderful use for your chamois. You get that ink off there. And I have some scrap pieces of my shimmer cardstock. And this is all because when you cut those down, you end up with lots of little pieces. And this is just too beautiful to throw away. So on my flower, I want this flower here to be pink. And then I want some of these leaves down here to be green. So I just need little offcuts of my... And then this, you know, is the way I normally use my pads. I'll flip this around and get the pink. This is Melon Mambo. And I don't need the whole thing. So I have that. I'm going to flip this back around over here. And then I just need these green, so I can kind of just aim for where I want. And then this is the granny apple. You can see I haven't put my sticker. When you get all new pads at one time, you know, putting the stickers on ceases to be fun after 20 or so. And you're like, oh, I'll come back to these later. So there I've got those. I'm gonna flip these back around because I'm not quite finished with my watercolor yet. And grab a tissue, which I forgot to put on my table. If I was doing this and not filming, I would let it dry a little bit more. But because I want to show you guys what I'm going to do. So it's going to lose a little bit of color in the middle, but that's okay. It would be a little bit more vibrant if it had time to soak into the cardstock. I'm going to move these aside so I can pull my Big Shot up here. Got this little piece of our new glimmer paper. Maybe it's Dazzling Diamonds, maybe it's clear. I don't remember what this color is called because it's new. And I've slept since I've ordered it. But I'm gonna run this little piece that comes through the bundle. It's one of the little leaves that you get. I'm gonna run that through. And if I do that, that will cut my plate. Put that here. And then here's my piece I watercolored. This is one of the frames that comes in the bundle. And you can kind of pick where it looked the prettiest, so you don't even have to do it straight on your paper. If there's a place that you really liked the way the water landed, and because I had to pull mine up with the tissue, it doesn't look as pretty as it might have if it dried naturally, but it'll work. Through. So here's my little leaves. And here's my frame, and it's shimmery. It's prettier in real life. You can't see any of the shimmer. Well, maybe you can see a little bit, but it is shimmering on that side. You might be able to see it. And then I have the new embossing folder that was new in the annual catalog called Tufted. It's one of my favorites. And you know the line on here is so you can line it up to make sure it's straight so you don't have a cattywampus little design. On some of them it doesn't matter. It's nice just so you know it's in there straight. I've done a lot of talking on the phone today. I didn't think that my throat would do this. Sometimes, you know, when you sit at home all day and you work from home, and this is the first time I talked, that's why I do it, but I've talked a lot. Okay, and this is a thick embossing folder, so it only needs once. Lined it up on a line. It only needs the one plate to run it through. It just looks like a Victorian chair or a pillow. Can you see that? Super fun. And you could put pearls or you could take a white gel pen. For this I don't need it because there's a lot going on this card. There's a lot of other fun things you could go ahead and do with that. I'm going to take, I don't know if this was the one that wasn't working or if it was the one that was working, because they're both laying here. So let's see. This is a fun watercolor technique. I don't really need to do a whole lot because, you know, I stamped it with the color. I think this is the one that is working. So because it's the classic ink, it will like just smear the ink that's already on there. So if you just want a light look, you don't have to do anything else to it, which is mostly what I want for these leaves. And I'm going outside the lines because I'm gonna cut it out. And then I want the one leaf to be a tad darker, so I'm just gonna pick up a tiny bit of ink there. And it gives a fun watercolor look. And then over here, I'll just, isn't that cool? Look, it was dirty, and then all you do on your chamois is, with the Aquapainter, wipe it off, and it's clean. It's magic. Just love some stamp magic. And then I'm just going to do the same thing on my flower. It reminds me of the coloring books that you had when you were little, you know? They were just coloring books, and they weren't coloring books, I guess they were painting books, and you just painted over them with the water. And then I'm going to pick up a tiny bit of ink just so the middle of my flower is a little bit darker than the edges. My cat's talking to me. And then again, my Aquapainter, oh, I'm not finished, so I don't need to clean it off. I need my little glitter because this is white, so it can be any color you want. I don't know if I hold it a little closer so you can see my dirty paper. So I want, since I've got the pink, I'll just start with that. These little nubbies, I'm going to pretend they're the little flower pieces. I'll just put those on there. And then take the pink off on my chamois. And then come over here and pick up the green. And just add that to here. And then my glitter paper is now colored glitter paper, which is fun. And then you just take it on my chamois. It'll be easier to see now. See, it's green. And you just rub it off. And then it's no longer dirty. Just cleans it right off, which is nice. I think that's all the painting now. Put that back on. Let those dry just a second. And then, you know the way I clean my stamp, shut my stamp pads? Just flip them upside down. And then they're shut. And the nice thing is you know, the wet, because there is water in here, but it's on the bottom because the ink's on the top. So even though they're wet, it's going to dry with the water on the bottom. So it's not going to do anything to your actual ink pad. I'll let those dry a second and I'll finish this part of my card. So, you know, I love, nothing I like more than some double ribbon. So I'm going to take, this is, oh, and here comes my cat. Hi, Sibby. This is the Granny Apple Green textured weave ribbon, and then my favorite polka dot tulle ribbon. She's gonna knock something glass off the back of it. Sibby, get down. There could be a crash in just a second. I love double ribbon, and I love the tulle because it is a great double ribbon. So I'm gonna, Sibby, get off the table. Again, tie enough that you're not at the end wishing that you had cut just a little bit more because you don't want to mess. I'd rather cut off a fraction at the end and waste it than spend a bunch of time trying to tie. So I'm going to layer it like this. Isn't that pretty? Look how pretty that is. Just this extra little bit of tulle over the top of so many of our ribbons just adds so much. It makes it so much prettier. So I'm going to bring it here. Flip this over and tie it here. You going to help me tie the ribbon, babes? They might like to see me do this, but instead you get to see some cat. Put this here and then tie the knot. She's probably blocking all of the sun from coming in the window. She's sitting right in front of where my light comes in. She's coming back. And then I'm going to take just the green ribbon. She's going to help me tie it. So we go. Tie the green ribbon into a bow. Now she literally is blocking the sun. Sib! At least she's moved out of the camera angle, I think. Oh, I see her tail, I think. So I'm going to tie this part into a bow. Get it good and tight. And when you tie your bows, if you kind of lay them the direction you want them to go, because I want this to go sideways on my card now here because of my other cat, because, you know, if he hears me talking to her, something exciting must be going on. And then I'm going to tie this bow here as well. And this would not work with most of our ribbons, maybe with some of the thinner strings or the copper thread, but it always works with the tulle because the tulle is so thin. So there you go. And then I'm going to cut. I can leave the long ends of the tulle because it's light and it won't cover anything up, but this I'm just going to trim right here. And then trim this one as well. Yep, here we go. We have everybody in the family coming to watch this card today. And he might decide that this string is a play toy. Branson, get down. So that's going to go here. Move all of my stuff. They may just start fighting right here because, you know, she got this space first and he's going to try to take it. Put this on here. Aren't those colors just fun? Look how fun those colors are. Some done with that. We'll slide this under. She's sitting on some of mine. Can you see her? Thank you, Sibby. Just cut these out. The dies that come do not come. I know I've seen on Pinterest that some people have like 50 of these flowers on their cards. Well, maybe not 50, but a lot. There is not a die that cuts out these flowers. So if you buy them and you think you're going to make a card that has a lot of the flowers on it, you're going to fussy cut them. Because I've had a couple of people ask where people are getting the die that cuts out the flowers. That would be this. Whoops. It's your hands. And I like to fussy cut, but I don't think I'd want to fussy cut as many flowers as some of the girls. They've got some dedication. This card would be pretty maybe if it had a couple more, but because it can't, we have a 6 projects we're going to do. So it's just as pretty with one flower. It's part of the reason I did some fluffy ribbon. So there's that flower. And here's the leaves. And then this little part right there is going to get hidden under there, so I don't need to worry about that. And some of these, like there's other flowers covering up, so sometimes when you look, you might think, well, there's not a whole leaf, so that's not going to work. But if you're going to mount them under, you can work it so you hide those parts. So I'm going to turn this around just so I can see it when I do it. I've got my pineapple. This is the dark pineapple blend. I'm going to color the middle of my flower. So it's yellow. I'm going to take my flower here. And then I've got these two little leaves. And see, there's this little bit of white. But I can stick it right behind the ribbon so nobody will know that's there. And the same with this little part where it's not quite a whole leaf because there was a flower. I'll just stick that under the ribbon. And then here's my little glitter piece. And this just kind of builds it so it kind of fills in all that area, since I didn't want to cut out a whole bunch of flowers, but it works to fill it up. And then these are some of our glimmer dots. And they come in the yellow, since I pulled in the yellow, and the pink and the green. So really whatever colors we want. Because you know, if you are a demonstrator and you do classes, sometimes you can't use all the same color, otherwise you run out. Or if, you know, you buy stuff at home, you want to make it go as far as you, like you want to work with as many colors. Because if you just use one, then you use up your colors. So there I've got a pink and a green, so let's get a little baby yellow one. We'll put that there. So there you go. Isn't that cute? And not hard, but the ribbon really kind of fills it up, and that tool, I just love what that does to it, and the tufted background. And it is prettier in real life because it's sparkly, and I know you can't see the sparkle. You might be able to see a little bit of sparkle on that, the glimmer there. But if you go to my website, I'll put some close-up pictures, some stills, and maybe I can catch the sun. It is sunny out today. I would like to go get my pool. So much to do today. So much to do this week. Camp week's always like that. So there you go. Here's the one I made earlier. They always look a little bit different, which just goes to show you, you know, when you try to stamp like somebody else, you can't even stamp like yourself. My cards always look a little bit different, especially the ones that I do on camera as opposed to off, because I can't quite see over the top. This one looks a little bit darker because I was able to allow it to dry and not have to wipe it off as quick. But there you go. Again, if you're interested in my special, I can tell you it will be getting some free stamp pads. Whoops, some free stamp pads. Buying the bundle of the stamps and the dies and an Aquapainter. The watercolor pencils won't be involved with it this week. If you catch our Facebook Live on next Monday, there will be some special things for demonstrators. And if you're interested in getting things like these, I will have some for sale, and it'll be a pop-up sale. It will be on my Facebook, Sherry's Cards, and when they're gone, because I don't have very many. So they're not expensive. Almost everything's under 20 bucks with shipping. So there you go. Have a great day. Bye.